Us to talk about assessment. Most of the time, people do love gazing the disability of the other person. They look at the other person and they say, "Oh, I think the person is having polio, or it's because of polio that made that person to look like that." The other person will say, "Oh, I think that child has got epilepsy. I think this child is having ADHD. Oh, I think this child is autistic. Oh, I think that child is deaf. Oh." But how sure are you that the child has that kind of disability? Parent, the only way for you to know the kind of disability or the degree or the level of disability of your child is when you take this child for an assessment. The different assessment centers is not just about walking to a clinic and they tell you the child is suffering from this. No, the special tools that are being used, the special equipments that are being used to assess this child. If you come to realize that, oh, my child is not growing at a specific pace, there's an age of a child when they reach, they're expected to be singing, they're expected to be jumping, they're expected to be walking around, or they're expected to be start talking or grabbing things. But when you look at your child and all those things are not happening, it's high time you go for an assessment. If you can call your child and they don't follow the voice, you look at them but they cannot follow the voice, they cannot try to move their head, it's high time you go for an assessment so that they can tell you, the assessors who are there, they will let you know what is the exact problem with your child. So there are different types of assessment. We have educational assessment, we have medical assessment, functional and functional assessment. If you feel that your child cannot see very well and they're complaining that they can't see very well, it's high time, it's better if you can you take this child for vision assessment so that they can assess their eyes. So the doctor or the assessor who is there is going to know, does the child need to be given a special pair of glasses, or does the child need to be given a white cane? And if this child is becoming blind, the blindness is in what degree? If this child is you are talking to them, but sometimes they hear you, sometimes they don't hear you, it's good if you can take them for an audiology assessment so that they can know exactly what level of deafness does this child have. Maybe they are partially impaired. Can it be corrected? That condition be corrected? Does the child need to go for therapy? And if it is going for therapy, how many times in a week? How many times in a month? So from this, you're going to be told what kind of therapy does this child need and where does the child need to go for therapy. You don't just take your child to any other place. No, there are specific places that you take your child for therapy. There are specific doctors who have been trained to do therapy for those kids. And if you are lucky enough, actually this kind of disability sometimes is because when we delay, when we take too long, then the child might not get help. But if we are very fast, we take them for assessment, we take them for the therapy early enough, then this condition can be corrected. It might not be as bad as we think. The reason as to why I'd love to tell parents to take their children for assessment is because, for example, if the child has a disability, yes, the child has got a disability, and you're just wondering, now which school am I going to take my child? Because I cannot take them to any other school. So the specific schools, the very specific school or special schools that these people are going to refer you to. When you take that child for educational assessment, the assessors are going to know exactly where this child is gonna fit. Alright? You don't just take them to any other school. There are schools with special needs units whereby your child can go and have the education comfortably. Sometimes it can be hectic. You might not know what next do I need to do. After the assessment, after going for a medical assessment, the doctor will tell you this child needs to eat this, this, and this. There are foods that children who react to some food. Yeah, you don't just give them any other kind of food you want to give them. No, the doctor will advise you what kind of food does this child need to eat. Like examples, that some kids when they're given wheat, they become super active. They are so jumpy when they drink milk, when they eat sugar. So the child is so active, the child is jumpy, and you get stressed. Now what do I do? From that, maybe you don't know, when they eat bread or they take sugar or when they eat specific food, they become very active, they become very aggressive. So the doctor is going to tell you which food not to give this child. So after that, you know how to manage the condition. They'll also tell you which medication does this child need to take if their child is epileptic, so that it can control the level or the rate at which that child falls down. So one piece of advice that I'd love to tell parents, as much as our children have different types of disability, yes, there are children who have autism, yes, there are children who have epilepsy, cerebral palsy. We are not supposed to share medication. We are not supposed to share medication. Take the child to the hospital, let them do assessment, then they will let you know which medication fits this kid. Don't just do random medication. No, it's not good for the health of that child. Okay, why would we do an assessment? When you notice that your child does not react, when you call them, they cannot follow the voice. When you give them something, they cannot hold it for a long period of time. When they cannot write, or they cannot just walk properly, please take this child for a functional assessment so that they can know exactly where the problem is. So parents, today I just want to advise us that let's not be scared of taking our children for assessment, because once you know exactly what the problem is and how to help one another, like you know exactly what to do, you know exactly what food you need to give your child, you know exactly what medication your child needs to take, then you're kind of relieved. You're not going to be stressed out not knowing what to do, where to go to. And by the way, parents, be friends with each other. When you come to realize there's another parent who has a child who has the same disability as yours, you can sit down, have a conversation, and you can share notes, become friends, advise each other, console each other. All right? Be a shoulder for the other to lean on when problems are on, when the world becomes tough, when the world becomes tough. Be the other person's scaffold. All right? Because this journey is long, and we have to hold each other for us to go far.